Go to Twitter. Get the we'll at you in the stream. Just hit the retweet.
Okay. Hey, do me a favor as well. If you can, is there any way that you can kind of email me those questions again real quick? Because I got my laptop up right next to it so I can kind of see what we're talking about next. Is that possible? Just send to that same email that you sent the link to.
J Cunningham.
Yep, at jwood.id.
Okay. Just sent those. All right.
All right, that's cool. I haven't yet, but it should come up any second. All right, got him.
Sweet. All right. This is second episode of the program Spotlight podcast. My name is Adam Stenson. I am the host. A little bit about me. I played small town Division II JUCO baseball in North Dakota. I grew up in North Dakota. After my 2 years there, I went and played overseas and bounced around Europe for 3 years over the course of 3 seasons over 4 years. And now I am here in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona, insurance salesman by day, podcast host by night. And I've got Coach JaMorri Cunningham from Johnson & Wales University in Charlotte, North Carolina. JaMorri, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Adam, for bringing me on. I definitely am excited about tonight.
Yeah. So you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful city, one of the most underrated cities in the country, in my opinion. Johnson & Wales, this is a brand new program, right? First year next season?
Yeah, so new upstart program, actively recruiting, bringing in guys for August. School starts August 25th. But next spring, this upcoming spring, will be our inaugural season.
Awesome. So what challenges have you seen here? We'll just start right away with the recruiting side. What challenges have you had so far, good or bad, for acquiring new talent to a brand new program?
Right. So obviously, I mean, the big plus is, like you said, the beautiful city of Charlotte, beautiful city, beautiful atmosphere. The location that we're at is really perfect. We're right across the street from Bank of America Stadium, where the Carolina Panthers play. We're right down the street from the Charlotte Knights Stadium, which is a AAA affiliated team of the Chicago White Sox. By a bunch of businesses, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Honeywell. So, beautiful city. Of course, the challenges from a negative standpoint is always it being a new upstart program. There's always some hesitancy there, and most people are visual, so they have to see it to believe it. So just getting them to understand that we're a new program, but we're not a new school. We're going to run this program like it's been around for a while, and everybody doesn't want to kind of really be the so-called the guinea pig and the trial run of things. So it's always a challenges, but I've been enjoying it. It's been fun. I think we're going to get a good group of kids in here year in and year out.
Yeah. What I saw you post earlier, you're still looking for corner infield catchers and pitchers. What kind of roster size are you bringing in?
We're looking to have anywhere between 30 to 35 this year on a normal year basis. After this year, I look to have no more than 40. But yeah, we're definitely looking to add a few more arms, a couple more catchers, and a couple more corner infielders. Mainly the pitching and catching side. It definitely starts up the middle. But I think we're building a solid roster. I have a great coaching staff that's been helping me recruit and getting our brand out there. They've been working very hard, and so I'm excited for this upcoming season.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm actually going to remove that. Uh, I want to show everyone where the campus is located, and it's in a tremendous location right in downtown Charlotte, basically.
Yep, they call it Uptown.
They call it Uptown.
Uptown, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Uptown Charlotte, North Carolina. And yeah, I mean, we've got the Spectrum Center here, Bank of America Stadium. You're in walking distance to both if you're really feeling adventurous. As you zoom in here, I mean, it's perfect location. Honestly, I assume the public transportation is prime location for that.
Yeah, the public transportation. We have the trolleys downtown. So I mean, it's a pretty uh, simple area. It looks a lot more complicated than what it really is, but the transportation there is pretty used very wisely there, and plenty of traffic going down there day in and day out. But it's a beautiful area. I can't speak enough about that area and just the city as a whole.
Yeah, so that's just to show everybody this is a great location for university, and you don't need a car, right? So when we talk about your recruiting and what you've been bringing in, what's been kind of the mix as far as JUCO versus high school versus like 4-year transfers?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good balance, really. And that's what I wanted. I wanted a balance. I didn't want to get too transfer and JUCO heavy because the main thing is we're trying to build a culture. Not saying that you can't build a culture with older guys, but they're only going to be there for a certain amount of time. So it's still important to really build that foundation through the high school guys that can really see the program grow. But it's been a good balance, man. Like I said, the transfer portal is getting bigger and bigger every year. And we've been getting a lot of interest. We've just been trying to be consistent on the social media platform and just getting our name out there. And, I think we're going to definitely grow this program year by year.
Yeah. You mentioned you're hitting the social media, which is huge now for all coaches at every level. You're NCAA Division III, correct?
Yes.
And so I imagine that's going to continue to be a big pipeline for you as far as evaluating talent. But you're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and there is really, really good baseball in and around the city. There's a bunch of travel tournaments in the area. How much time do you spend in person at the fields, high school ball, travel ball? What's it look like for you in person?
Well, we spend a lot of time at the field. It's nothing like seeing, prospects in person. You can, the Twitter and what we can call pretty big, the social media platform, but still just really having that presence in the ballpark, shaking hands and, getting our brand out there physically is a huge plus for us. But I probably say I spend probably 3, if not 4 days a week at ballparks. It's a really good college leagues in Charlotte. And then travel balls in the summertime on the weekends. So I would say about 3-4 days, just really evaluating talent, making sure we seeing the small details before we really make a sound decision.
Yeah, there really is. My favorite part of recruiting when I was at Dakota College of Botano as a pitching coach was definitely being there in person, seeing the movement on the ball, and then seeing what you don't see in between pitches and the demeanor of the athlete running on and off the field. What's their effort level like pregame? How are they interacting with their teammates? That stuff, you can't get that on Twitter. You can try and get a feel for that with conversations with the players, but you don't get that. There's nothing like in person, seeing everything, getting the feel for everything. So you're on Twitter. What are the best ways for a prospective athlete to reach you? Is it Twitter? Do you have a recruiting questionnaire on your athletic website? What's that look like?
So it's a couple ways. I mean, of course, the easiest way is on Twitter. I'm on there probably every 20, 25 minutes. My 95% of my battery is probably Twitter. But you can also email me. We have our email on our school website. So I try to be as accessible as I can. I don't want to be a hard person to reach. And I'm all about getting to know the athletes and, having conversation and getting to know everyone the best way I can.
Do you have a player profile, physical build that you look at? What does a JWU baseball player look like in your mind?
A winner. Simple. I want a guy that's a winner. I want a guy that plays smart. He competes. And I tell people all the time, there's a difference between playing hard and competing. I don't like to really say play hard because you can play hard all game and don't execute, don't play smart. But competing is playing smart, doing the little things correctly. But a guy that's going to be a good teammate, a guy that's going to have that never say die mentality, and just winner intangibles. Baseball is probably one of the few sports that I'll take a baseball player over an athlete. I don't want an athlete who plays baseball. I want a baseball player who happens to be a good athlete. It doesn't take much athleticism to execute a bunt, to hit a cutoff man, to turn a double play, to hit behind a runner. Those are the winning intangibles. And so I want those guys who love the game of baseball, the ones that's going to have the great attitude and effort every day, and that's going to prepare well, and that's going to fall in love with the preparation of the game. And so I don't really have any metrics. Of course, I want the big, strong, fast, physical kids, but most importantly, do you have those winner intangibles? Do you have that desire to win and get better every day? I think that's the most important metric that there is, winner intangibles.
Yeah, baseball IQ is it's a different beast from any other sport, right? There's so many small details that if missed, they really add up. Not only over the course of a game, but over the course of a season, right? How many missed bunts do you have? You can probably count a few runs that you didn't get because of a missed bunt, because of a missed steal sign, because of you misplayed a ball in the gap as an outfielder, right? You took an extra step and you allowed a runner to get to second when he should have been able to hold him to a single.
Right.
So yeah, IQ. You hit the nail on the head there with baseball IQ. Baseball athletes over athletes that play baseball, two different things. So when the players get to campus, you said August 25th, right?
Mhm. Well, classes start on the 25th. They'll get on campus on around August 21st, August 22nd. But the first official day of classes is August 25th, yes.
Great. So player arrives on the 21st or 22nd. What does that fall look like for you as the new head coach? What can they expect?
Yeah, so we'll have our first team meeting that night before classes start. Just want to set down some standards and expectations of how we want to carry ourselves on and off campus, right? How we want to go to class and how we want to just interact with the people on campus. Now we're setting a standard, and that's when our culture starts. I think our culture starts the day we move in. It doesn't start the first day of practice, right? And so we're having that team meeting. Letting the guys get to know each other, and just letting them to be students. At the end of the day, their main priority is coming there to get a quality education. So just letting them just get adjusted to their classes and school, and then probably a week or two after Labor Day, we'll get back up together, and then we'll start talking about the baseball aspect of it. Weight room, conditioning, practices. We'll get started around early September, and we'll get rolling. We'll start developing in the weight room. We'll start developing on the field, and then we'll end it off like around late October, early November with our fall World Series. Let the guys compete. We'll enter squad every weekend, and we'll end it off with our leadership council meeting where we'll pick our team captains for the upcoming year based off of the things that we saw in the fall, and not only physically, but who did the people lead? Who led the best? Who did the people follow? Who was the best teammate? Things of that sort. And so around that time, they'll be getting ready for finals. Man, we want them to finish the semester strong in the classroom before they go home for the Thanksgiving and Christmas break, and then we'll get back together in January and get ready for the season. Probably right at a month before the season gets started.
That's Yeah. When you get to fall, it's jam packed, right? You throw a lot of stuff at young guys, and for the most part, when you bring in a bunch of 17-year-old, 18-year-olds who just graduated high school, they're not used to having that heavy of a schedule, right? They hear about the typical student, and they're like, a couple classes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a couple classes on Tuesday, Thursday. It's going to be easy, right? Then you throw in all the extra stuff with the athletics, with having to now maintain communication between your coaches, between your advisor, between your teachers for all of your classes, and it's you, right? It's not the parents. Your parents aren't stepping in to take care of any of that, right? So there's a lot that gets thrown at them. What do you foresee yourself doing? Maybe you got a couple of guys who are just overwhelmed, right? Like what does that look like from a support standpoint at JWU, as far as, maybe you got some kids struggling in a couple of classes? Are there tutors available? What's the support between the academic side at JWU and the baseball side, the athletic side?
Right. So, I mean, first off, our school does such a great job of supporting the students. One thing that I really paid attention to is when I first got to campus, how supportive the faculty and staff is, and how dedicated everyone is to helping the student get better in all aspects. But one thing that we'll do personally throughout the baseball program in the fall, we'll have one day off a week for mental health. Mental health is very important. You never know what people are going through, what backgrounds they come from. So just kind of really hitting that reset button one day a week, and really kind of bringing the guys together and just really talking. And that's my way of getting to know them and their way of getting to know each other. Having mental health day, and then once a month on those mental health days, bringing in a guest speaker of some sort. It can be a former scout, a former coach, a former big leaguer, a financial literacy person teaching them how to invest and save money, a substance abuse counselor on teaching them about peer pressure, or just simply a content creator on teaching them the right things to post on social media. So just educating them any way possible, but kind of also taking that step away and really just regathering themselves. So that's one thing that we'll do for support. And then, like I said, just having those conversations with our guys and them getting to know each other, each other's backgrounds. At the end of the day, they're the ones that have to play. So just having team bonding, a team bonding event once a month to kind of, and have some fun and everybody getting to know each other. And so those things are important. I think those relationships off the field and taking the time to get to know one another, I think carries itself on the field when it's game time.
Oh, absolutely. And while we're on the topic of the academics, I just got the virtual tour of what JWU in Charlotte looks like. Um, and the academic centers, this is the courtyard of the campus. So you're in the middle of Charlotte, the heart of Charlotte, North Carolina, a massive city, yet you still have the campus feel of a traditional university.
Right. Definitely the campus feel. They have the courtyard, like you said. The courtyard, they had some great events there. When I got hired right at the beginning of April, there was a couple weeks before school was out, and they had some really nice events in the courtyard for the students. I thought it was really nice. So, definitely like to utilize that. But it's very family friendly. I think the school gives all the resources that the student needs to be successful.
So their baseball program is brand new. What other sports are available? Obviously, the for me being at a small junior college, I really got to know a lot of the basketball players, a lot of the football players that were on campus. So what other sports are available at JWU? What events come with those tournaments and other things?
Right. So this past year was our inaugural year for our softball team. Coach Orr and Coach MJ. They did a great job of developing those young ladies. They did a great job. We have a great men's and women's basketball team. We have volleyball. We have men's and women's soccer. We have golf. So we have a full athletic program. We don't have football, but we have some great coaches as there as well. And I've learned something from each and every one of them. And it starts at the top with Miss Lacey, our athletic director, and Chuck, our assistant AD. They really set the example and they really set that environment, and they make it enjoyable to come to work. Right. Even our athletic trainer Elena, and our new assistant athletic trainer Kelly. It's just a very family friendly environment. Like, we have great coaches there that care about the student athletes just more than just athletes. They've been very helpful to me, but I think all of them make the athletic program thrive, and I think I walked into a good situation to where I wanted to add on to an already great athletic program.
And this is a library at JWU, and I want to highlight this right here. Right, this is a ton of computers. Right, so if you're a baseball player at JWU, there is no I don't have a computer excuse.
No,
they,
no excuses, no excuses.
they have it looks like they have plenty of computers to use, plenty of research material, plenty of books. There is no excuse to not do that essay, to not study for that final exam. And we see into downtown Charlotte here, the tram system, the city rail, right outside of the campus.
Yeah, right in front of it, right in the middle. Is actually sponsored through Johnson and Wales University too, so that's pretty cool. So seeing that logo and seeing your school being advertised through the city of Charlotte is always a beautiful thing to see.
We've got campus library number 2, right? So more study areas. This is a university that's looks very well equipped. We've got lecture halls and more.
No excuses not to be great at Johnson and Wales University. All of the resources are there to be great. It's just up to you to put the work in.
What's the dorm situation like for your players? What should they expect heading into the year?
Well, one thing I like to do is I'm real big on having teammates rooming with each other. I think that definitely helps the camaraderie standpoint as well. We have nice dorms, apartment style dorms. We have a dorm called the Maple that's getting renovated right now, with plenty of space. Kind of gives you like the hotel feel. It was actually a hotel that Johnson and Wales bought, and so it's very comfortable living space, very a home feel to where they're comfortable, where they're laying their head at every day.
This is Cedar Street Residence Hall.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got, looks like, 2 bathrooms, 1 bathroom at least combined, but we've got a sink area here. But you get your own. It looks like you get your own room, right?
Yeah, no more than two to a room. Two to a room. Some people may have their own room, but two to a room, and then basically 1 bathroom for 2 people. So very, very friendly, very comfortable living.
Yeah, that's a lot better situation than Dakota College of Botano. I can tell you that they recently redid their. One thing I found is as soon as you leave, the place you were just at starts to get the upgrades that you wanted while you were there. That's
Right.
what happened.
They were just waiting for you to leave. As soon as you left, man, they were ready to move on with life.
They put my tuition money to good use. So we've got the courtyard here, the Wildcat Center. What's the Wildcat Center?
So that's where our offices actually are. The gym is in there. That's really like the athletic center. All of the coaches' offices, the weight room, the gym. Beautiful, beautiful building.
It looks like you guys got a well equipped gym. This is where the players will be doing their workouts?
That's where the blood, sweat, and tears will be for our baseball program, as well as the other athletic programs. But that is the weight room.
This is a beautiful campus. When you're at the gym right here, wow. This court is awesome, actually.
It actually got renovated today because Bob's going to the new conference. We're going to the Coast to Coast conference because we were USCAA the last several years.
Yeah.
So they actually getting the Coast to Coast logo on the floor. I think they're going off like the sticker label the first year or two, and then eventually getting it engraved in the wood on the court.
Oh, this is a really nice gym. So solid boys and girls basketball programs. You will not be lacking the entertainment for sure. So on the academic side, what is Johnson and Wales University's specialty? Like what do people go across the country to go to JWU to study?
Well, quite naturally, it's known for its culinary program. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about the academics for Johnson Wells is most people think that it's strictly culinary, which is not true. We're known for our culinary department, but we have all of the other typical majors. We have the sports management degree. We have the business, we have the psychology, the health science. So we're more than just a culinary school. Our culinary school is a state of the art program, great program, but we have some really good other majors there. I think the business and the sports management department can go up against anybody's by just being the city that is in. You know, what better city to do sports management in a sports town like Charlotte, right? Businesses, you have a bunch of businesses downtown, so we have a pretty wide range of bachelor's degrees and masters. We have the computer science program and things of that nature. So we have all the majors that you think.
Yeah, and I'm glad you pointed that out. If you're studying sports management, you've got three different professional levels there in Charlotte. You have the Hornets, you have minor league baseball. I believe it's a AAA affiliate,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got the NFL team right there. There's so many possible intern possibilities that could go along with that.
And you also have the hockey team, and you also have the Charlotte the soccer team there. So you got five really. You have five, and then if you want to go even further, you if you're only 2.5 hours away from Raleigh, Durham Bulls, so you're in a really good area. You have other universities if you want to get in the athletic department. UNC Charlotte, I stay about 4 minutes away from UNC Charlotte. You have Queens University, so you know there's a bunch of different options to work in the avenue of athletics.
Please do forgive me for forgetting the hockey and soccer.
I forget sometimes too, but I'd actually want to go to some of those games. They said the soccer and hockey games are pretty fun there too. So
Phoenix here has Phoenix United FC, and it's not MLS, but they put on a show. So I need to get to those games too. So thank you for the reminder. We have health services on the campus. How extensive is the health services? They don't. It look kind of seems like they don't have to leave campus unless something serious happens. Right, everything is right here on campus.
right, yeah, the health services is really good. They have everything that you need to get well. Big shout out to our health services for athletics, our athletic trainer, Elena and Kelly. They do a great job of getting our student athletes to be the best they can be. But just overall, from a school standpoint, the health services, they really pride themselves in taking care of their students. And like you said, they really don't have to leave. They have everything you need there to get the best treatment you can possibly get.
Uh, I keep changing the looking at new areas of the school, going through this virtual tour, and this is not a campus that is lacking anything for. I imagine the relatively small footprint that it would have in uptown Charlotte. So all of the degrees offered here. You've got brand new, looks like renovated buildings. You've got dorm rooms on campus that are beautiful. You've got city transit leading into, I imagine, any part of downtown that you could want. You've got the professional sports teams right there in downtown Charlotte. So when you go about the recruiting part, how local are you going, or are you? I imagine with the facilities and with the school and what you can show and offer students, you're able to bring in nationwide. How extensive or how broad has your reach been?
I mean, we want to go get the best baseball players wherever they are. I know the farthest so far that we've recruited that's committed to us as of right now has been Las Vegas. We're talking to a couple kids currently from Canada. Arizona, quite naturally, of course, the North Carolina, South Carolina area. We've talked to a few kids from New Jersey, New York. So we're just going to get the best guys that fit for the program that we're trying to have here. So wherever they are, we're going to get them. We're going to contact them the best way we can.
How being in Uptown, close to downtown, with the campus where it is, how involved will your program be in on and off campus events for the city? How involved in the community will you be?
I think that's going to be a huge thing that we're going to do. We want to be involved in the community. We want our faces to be seen, and that's one thing we want to leave an impact wherever we go. We don't. We not only want to leave an impact on the field, but in the classroom, in the community, and we want to give back, right? And so we want that support. So we have to give that support. So that's a huge part of what we want to do, year in and year out, every semester, doing some type of community outreach here in Charlotte. And we want to be known as that school that's always going to give back and appreciate the things that we have in life.
Yeah, no, you know, being in a small town, every Botno is like 2,500 people, 2,500 people, or about 15 minutes from the Canadian border. So you can imagine every resident of the city knew who the players were, who was a college student there. So when you went off campus and you did something stupid, which every college student does, everyone knew, right? So what's your plan to, I'm not going to say what's your plan to not control your students, but to make them understand that what you do on and off the field reflects on the school as a whole, not just themselves.
Right. So it kind of caters to, really our whole plan and goal this first year. It's just really to build a good culture, right? And you hear the word culture throughout sports, and you hear everybody has their different definitions. But to me, culture is just getting a large group to buy into a lifestyle on how we want to carry ourselves on and off the field. And just really setting down standards and expectations, right? One of my favorite quotes from Tim Corbin is, rules are for people who can't follow instructions, but standards and expectations are for people who inspire to do something great in life. So, I don't consider myself a dictator coach, right? I consider myself a player's coach. So for me, I want my guys to be them. Them being them is what got them here, but I just give them guardrails, right? And so letting them be them, but also giving them those guardrails and, always respect our program, yourself, and your family. So just getting them to understand the little things, not going to taking it too far, enjoying yourselves, but understand there's always somebody watching. The city of Charlotte is a big city with a ton of opportunities. So just keep your nose clean. You never know who's watching. Always be respectful to people. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. And I think everything will be fine. But just getting them to understand the opportunity that they have, and we want to uphold a certain standard.
Yeah, the standard is the standard, and every coach in the country will say that, and how you set up your program to make sure that year in and year out, even with 10, 15, 20 new guys coming in, depending on the recruiting class, depending on the year, that the older guys, the guys who have been there, the guys that set the standard coming up for this fall, this spring, are the ones that are carrying that torch along, and you know making sure that they're keeping their teammates in line, so that Coach Cunningham and your assistant coaches you know don't have to worry about that 3 a.m. phone call, right?
That's the worst phone call you want to get. You're automatically thinking the worst, and hopefully we can avoid those by any means necessary.
Right. So we get into the season. It's Charlotte, North Carolina. What does that weather look like come January, February, March, when it's winter for everyone? But is there snow? Is it windy? What's it look like come season time?
Well, I haven't really been, this upcoming fall and winter is going to be a new experience for me because, I was previously in South Carolina, but I haven't really been in North Carolina much in the winter time. But I can imagine, last year everybody got a little bit of snow, but I can imagine that it's going to be pretty chilly winters. Nothing, nothing like up north, but pretty chilly winters. But trust me, we've definitely gotten the heat, so we've definitely gotten the hot side of it. But I think it's going to be pretty comfortable weather. The fall weather. I like the hoodie weather. Me personally, but I think it's gonna be pretty chilly. I think the later it gets around December, I think it can be anywhere between 33 to 46 degrees. Nothing terrible, but definitely enough to get a hoodie or a jacket on. So I'm looking forward to that type of weather here. I'm kind of getting sick of the hot weather already. So uh, well,
You
I'll be looking forward to some cool weather soon.
you and me both. It is currently 104 here in Scottsdale. Yesterday they hit 116. So I'm trying to escape already, and we're only in just touching July.
You gotta stay
Uh,
hydrated out there, man. You gotta stay hydrated.
or I just don't leave my apartment.
Yeah, that works. That works. That works.
So we've touched on the recruiting, we've touched on the campus. It's a beautiful campus. On the screen right now is the dining hall for the students, and I imagine with uh, the culinary degrees offered, there is plenty to offer, plenty of good food, community involvement. You're going to be what's the fundraising? This is an interesting question. You get a wide variety when talking to coaches across the country.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I don't know what your budget is. It doesn't really. We don't need to know the number. What does the fundraising look like for you going into your first year of the program?
The fundraising aspect, I think, is going to be pretty fun. I think just utilizing the resources that we have. I would love to do some fundraising with the Carolina Panthers, considering the fact that the football season's coming up. I would love to do some things with the Charlotte Knights, Charlotte Hornets. So just going back to utilizing the resources that we have, I would love for our guys to work a few of the games. If Charlotte Knights or Carolina Panthers, if y'all see this, definitely give me a call. But yeah, there's a few things I think we're looking forward to doing, and then it kind of it's like a kill two birds with one stone. We're fundraising, but also getting our brand out there at the same time. So kind of a media presence as well. But I think we definitely want to make it fun for the guys. Make it fun, understanding what the hard work can lead to, and hard work leads to us getting more things, right? So
Yep.
I think that we have some pretty good options, and look forward to getting involved with them early fall.
When you're out fundraising, you've got a good group of guys, and you're working with different, either businesses or charities, or if you can get in with the Hornets or the Panthers, and you will let your players' personality shine, and they get an opportunity to network without knowing that they're networking, and they're meeting these people that possibly own businesses, that possibly,
Yes.
sorry, my cat just distracted me. That own businesses or prominent members of their communities. It's a great opportunity to uh, you know let to let people know who you are, and
Right.
what you're studying in college, and when you're going to graduate, and
Right.
kind of position yourself with people.
Right.
Um,
Kind of
Even
like
more
kind
so.
of like I said earlier, right? Just carry yourself with a certain standards, because like you said, that's an opportunity, have meeting a person and they remember how polite and well you were, giving you an opportunity down the road, but also developing their communication, their people skills, and learning how to talk to people and initiate conversations. So I think everything kind of comes full circle, even in the fundraising aspect as well.
Yeah, 100%. So we saw the fitness center. Here it is again. This is where you're going to get, this is where you're going to be sweating, where you're going to be blasting the music, and really grinding in the off season. Where will JWU play the regular season home games?
So right now it's not finalized, but as of right now, we're looking at potentially playing at the Stick. People call it Stick. People call it Not Whole Foundation, but it's the same place where Queens University plays their games. Queens University coaching staff, Coach Hendrick and Coach Phelps, and their staff, they've been very welcoming to myself and my coaching staff, open to playing games around the same time of year. So as of right now, like I said, nothing's been finalized, but it looks like we're leaning towards that aspect. They have a beautiful field out there, indoor facilities. So it's a beautiful field. Look forward to, that partnership with Queens University. But more than likely, that's where it looks like we're going to be playing our home games at this year.
That this is the field. This is the stick, and it looks like the softball field is right there. You
Mhm.
mentioned they've got an indoor facility right here.
Mhm.
So yeah, this is an awesome field. It looks very well kept.
Yeah, they do a great job. Actually, one of the guys that's coming to commit, his dad cuts that field 3 days a week. Jake Gibson's dad, Jimmy Gibson, he works very hard working on that field 3 days a week in the hot, steamy weather. So definitely dedicated to keeping that field as nice as it is.
You guys, for a first year program, you're going into a situation where you've got a beautiful campus, you've got excellent sized dorms, you've got awesome facilities on the campus as far as the academic side goes, as far as the dining hall. Um, you're very well positioned within the city. Is there anything else that you want to touch on? Is there anything specific that prospective athletes should know about JaMorri Cunningham, about JWU, about anything?
Well, I think the biggest thing coming from this is just really giving recognition to the people that deserve it. Like I'm definitely blessed to have the opportunity to be the first ever head baseball coach here. Can't thank Miss Trudy Lacey enough for giving me that opportunity. Great athletic director. She's a legend of her own. I always mess with her about that. She's in the North Carolina State Hall of Fame. But just wanted to shine a light on our school. When I tell you, I definitely enjoy going to work every day and being around some of the other coaches. Coach Slade, the men's basketball coach, Coach Jill, Coach Lex, Coach Mo, Coach Orr, the softball coach, Teddy, all of them, Elena. So I really enjoy those group of people. Chuck, I just really enjoy being around the other coaches and just going to that campus every day. Everybody's so welcoming, everyone is so friendly, and there's a buzz around the campus. Very excited about baseball. The student body, a couple just regular students or student athletes or other sports have came to my office and introduced myself. So there's an excitement, there's a buzz around campus, and I don't want to let them down. And we have a standard to uphold. We want to be that team that everyone gets along with. We want to do the right thing, and we're not going to be perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. My coaching staff is going to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. But at the end of the day, we're aiming for perfection. But at the end of the day, we want to be positively consistent in everything that we do. And I'm just very blessed for the opportunity, and I can't wait to get this year rolling.
If you are if you're a student athlete and you have yet to find yourself a college to play at, and you listen to this and you're thinking to yourself, that campus looks amazing. You agree with a lot of what JaMorri is talking about. You think that he would be a good fit for you as a head coach. Um, this will be a first year program, but I have a feeling that you guys will not look like a first year program. Uh, so JaMorri, I best of luck to you heading into your first fall. I want to reconnect with you in the winter after your first fall,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll do this again because I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about at that time. And if you're looking for a place to play, whether you're a high school senior that just graduated, a junior college athlete, or you're in the transfer portal and you've got another year or two of eligibility, hit up JaMorri. He's got this program heading in the right direction, especially as a first year program. It's going to be fun to watch from a distance for me. Coach, thank you for coming on. Thank you for talking about JWU. Thank you for guiding us through what it will look like for a student athlete.
Adam, I definitely appreciate it. And yeah, man, like, to the recruits that are still looking for places to go, there's still time. I think Johnson & Wales University is a unique opportunity. I think that you can't get at many places. That's being the first. And so my challenge to all those recruits that, feel like they're getting underlooked, And come to Johnson and Wales University. I want guys to come with chips on their shoulders and something to prove. But we're not only doing it to prove other people wrong, we're doing it to prove ourselves right. And so there's an opportunity of a lifetime. So my challenge is, why not? Why not you? Why can't you be a part of the first championship team here? Why can't you be a part of the first graduating class with the most wins? And why can't you be our first pro prospect? So my question to you is, why not you? Why not Johnson and Wales? I think we're building something special here. We're building it brick by brick, and with myself, my coaching staff, and the support that we have from this university, I think the sky's the limit for us. And I love to see everyone there at the games this year in the spring.
Pack the stands. JaMorri, thank you for coming on. This has been awesome. We'll talk off stream, and this will be available for complete playback here on Twitter and also on YouTube, and the audio only version on Spotify.
Thank you.